G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning on the east side of the map, playing as the red French player, it is Soldier. On the opposite side of the map, spawning in as the English blue player, it is the one, the only, TheViper. And take a look at that damn monument he's got. He is chopping wood once again. I don't think he's changed his monument in quite a while. I remember commenting on this before. It's definitely not the first time we have seen this monument, but already Viper beginning to open up with a bit of English pressure, a little bit of good old-fashioned English pressure. May have learned his lesson from last time and realized, well, hold on a minute, I gotta be the first one to make a move in this scenario. And we can see already Soldier sending out 2 villagers to gold. He is intent on getting up this early landmark. He wants to make sure he's got enough gold for it. Normally, you would see the French be a little bit delayed on adding in their initial mining camp, but for Soldier, it seems that is not the case. Now, Soldier almost seems unaware of what his opponent is doing. We don't see a second scout coming out from Soldier in this position, and as a result, it means that with a front gold like this, Viper is going to be walking in at a minute 20 and looking to dish out damage. Look at this, a minute 20 in, and he is about to hit that gold mine, and Soldier going to be in struggle town right now. You can see he's up to 160 gold, but Viper going to be looking to apply pressure, and I suspect we're going to be seeing Soldier in a world of hurt as the first man-at-arms comes in and looks to begin harassing down the villager. Villager taking quite a bit of damage, going to be forced to retreat from this situation. We'll check in with Soldier. You can see he's got 177 gold in it in the kitty at the moment. But now we see that scout underneath the town center. Soldier actually struggling right now. Viper doing a great job already preventing this from coming up. But we'll take a look and see how Soldier adapts, how he reacts. Normally in this situation, what you do, you can see he's got 180 gold. You just bring 4 villagers out. You just bring 4 villagers out to here. Make sure that you've... Oh, God. Sorry for that whistle right there. Make sure that you bring out 4 villagers, enough to gather up this gold, and then you head back. You just check the gold on here, and then you pull back your low health villagers. That's essentially it. But now you can see behind this, Viper just hanging out, just having a good time. Viper's got 2 villagers on gold. He's gathering up wood himself. Going to be probably looking to drop a lumber camp, maybe even drop a mill. We'll see how he goes. But ideally, now that he's hit that 50 wood, he'll probably be going over to that mill. But interestingly, only going for the 1 man-at-arms. And now we do see that is exactly what Soldier has done. So Soldier pulling out all of the villagers. You can see the low health villagers, and he'll just be monitoring that and making sure he's gathered up enough gold. And now that he has, Soldier got to be careful. He's got a man-at-arms coming in underneath him, but Viper going to be able to pull it back at this scenario. So the map, of course, is Altai. Spawning distances between 2 players is a little bit closer than what you would normally expect. Viper going to continue sieging down that mining camp. So normally on maps, you would expect players to be spawning right about here and right about here. And as a result, it means a longer walking distance. But on Altai, you pull it in, bring it a little bit closer. You've got a bit of a distance behind you here as well. And as a result, it basically makes you about 2 screens away from your enemy. If any of you guys played StarCraft 2 back in the original days, Steps of War, it's basically the Age of Empires 4 version of Steps of War. That was a map where you spawned so damn close to your enemy. Every Zerg player hated that map. It was just disgusting. But I guess Altai, I mean, it's actually a pretty good map for the Chinese. So it's interesting how it changes. I guess the primary difference between StarCraft as well as Age of Empires is with StarCraft, typically you're going to need space to get a bigger economy, whereas with Age of Empires, you don't necessarily need space, you'd rather just need time. And with a civilization like China, you can scale, and with a civilization like French, they're going to be looking to be very, very aggressive. But now we'll take a look over at how Soldier is doing, because he is tapping away at that landmark. 3 villagers here working towards that age up, and now going to be picking up the hunt. Got a nice little hunt back towards the south of his base here. Coming around with a single sheep. He's not had a good time here, only going with the single scout opening. So perhaps something to learn from him, or perhaps something to learn there. But I'd be curious to hear his thought process about why it is that he goes for the single scout versus the 2, because most players are going to be looking to go for 2, especially as the French Viper, as the English goes for the 2 scouts. But now we begin to see the Council Hall tapping away 5 villagers on that one. No mill just yet for Viper. So he's not looking to play particularly economic at this stage of the game. But I'm curious to see what his opening is. He's already got this barracks out. So whether he looks to go into Spearmen, whether he looks to go and head into Longbows. Now, a lot of people would be looking at this and be saying, Drongo, you know, what was this attack all about? Like, what was the point of even doing this attack? How is this even a decent thing? Oh, can I just note one thing? I think it actually might be more effective to let the mining camp die as the French, because look how much wood you're actually losing here. You're losing like a wood every second. So if you're repairing this for 25 seconds, you're actually losing wood. Viper now hitting the feudal age. And so the men-at-arms coming out and doing this damage to the mining camp. Honestly, if I'm Viper, I would leave that. It's a total bait. Your enemy is going to be repairing that up. It's going to cost more. So as the French, there's a couple of upgrades that you really want to get in the early game because they get cheaper upgrades. Soldier actually doing a great job there, picking up a scout. Coming out now with a couple of horsemen. Men-at-arms going to be starting to struggle. He's very slow, but the base is not too far away. We can see the sacred site in the middle of the map going to be close by here as well. But men-at-arms just trying and attacking that horseman. Horseman going to be chasing away the scout. But yeah, the upgrades for the French in the early game, typically you want to be going for that wheelbarrow upgrade. And now we can see that Soldier hasn't been able to do that. And so it's not that Soldier doesn't or isn't going, like Soldier's game now isn't going to plan because he didn't account for this early aggression, or if he did account for this early aggression, he's not going to be able to do what he wants to. He's not going to be able to do the optimal strat. And Viper pulling the boar onto the units of Soldier. Very cheeky coming out from Viper. Boar turning around and looking to try and do some damage. Very, very cheeky, Viper. You are so naughty. Oh, I love it when he does little things like that. That is... oh, fortunately, not a lot of damage coming out, it seemed. Just because the horsemen were able to escape from the boar before any real damage was done. But keep in mind, for anybody wondering, the boar has got an AoE aggro radius. Instead of having a single target aggro radius, like the... if you've ever watched like a wolf and the way that it seems to attack units, it seems to be, a single target. But it does technically have an AoE as well. Once you've lured a boar, or rather lured a wolf, then there's no stopping it. But for a boar, it is all just aggro. It is all about, it just follows whatever's closest to it, and it'll attack. And it does a lot of damage as well. Watch out for that thing. It does a huge amount of damage. But now Viper going to be pushing in. There's quite a few archers here he's got to be careful of. He's only got 3 longbowmen himself. But now going to be looking to fight it back. We'll enter into a bit more of a neutral... Geez, this is a hard map to watch, actually. Just the way that the way that the map is placed. But now Longbowman going to be in trouble here as Soldier begins to move out. Looks like Viper might have bitten off more than he could chew, and I'm not just talking about the boar as the boar gets leashed again. Viper going in crazy with the boar. Boar going to be doing huge amounts of damage here. You can see the way that it taps away. Viper, just with his dying breath, calls out the boar. He's like, defend my honor, Marine Lord's mother. But no. It will not defend the honor, unfortunately. The boar not going to be able to go too crazy today. Outpost going to be going down on the gold mine. We'll take a look back at the base of Soldier and see how he's doing. Plenty of villagers on gold in this situation. Wheelbarrow finally coming through for him. It's about 7 minutes. Normally you'd see it coming through about 3 minutes for the French player. So it's a little bit of a delay, but now Soldier going to be moving forward. Villagers coming up. Probably going to be watching a bit of an outpost drop here as well. Could go for the boar himself. Could go for the boar himself. Indeed, he's going to be going for the boar himself. A nice little adaptation coming out from Soldier. He says, well, Viper, you wanted me to kill that boar so badly? There we go. Now it's dead. And now it sits idle in the middle of the map, and the villager's going to be moving out towards his position. Villager's got to be careful. Longbowman trying to take them out before the outpost comes up. We'll take a look at Viper and see how he's doing on his side. But you can see he's safely scouting out from a distance, at the same time watching as this push comes in. A lot of horsemen here. A single knight going to be out to tank as well. Longbowman on the back line going to be taking down those spears before Viper can actually look to connect with them. But now the spears going to be coming out once again, fending off the horsemen. Horsemen quite low health at this point in time, but now the archers continuing to get picked off by the longbows. Longbow's doing a great job, and Viper doing a great job as well of just keeping back those archers and making sure that they do not die to the cavalry. So very well played there. Viper, despite having a much smaller army, looks to have held in that position. That network of castles really helping him out. But now we see an outpost coming down in the middle of the map for Soldier. He's taken that boar. He's got 7 villagers out here. A couple of archers enter into the outpost and get themselves ready to do a little bit of shooting, a little bit of scooting. But I wouldn't be surprised if we begin to see stone being taken here. And indeed we do. Stone being taken now for Soldier. He'll be looking to add in arrow slits on this front, as well as look to get in that second town center. Against the English, it is always important to try and take that second town center, because if you play one town center against one town center, it's only a matter of time until you start bleeding. With technologies like wheelbarrow, horticulture, and double broadaxe typically being researched very early in the game for the English, they look to take advantage of their early economic bonus through the farms. And that's exactly what Viper's doing here. We can see that already double broadaxe is on the way. He's got that wheelbarrow, just yet to gather up enough gold for horticulture, but I expect we'll see it through shortly. Set up camp now coming through for Viper. Viper spotting out the units in the middle of the map. Soldier beginning to posture. Villagers, unfortunately, finding out the hard way that there are units indeed down towards the south of that boar. Longbowman moving into position, trying to find a decent pick. Keep in mind, these villagers yet to receive their textile upgrade. And Soldier going to be struggling to collect that food. Ideally, he'd be looking to try and take that fight, but there are a lot of units there. Not a lot of archers coming out for him. We'll take a look back towards the base of Soldier. He's quite heavy here on wood, which would to me indicates that he is thinking about that second town center. Actually going to be changing his mind now, only leaving 2 villages on the stone, so has decided against it. Probably going to be adding in more archers as a result. Blacksmith going to be coming up, second archery range also coming in. We hear scouts being attacked over by a wolf. Now Soldier going to be under pressure in the middle of the map as he continues to apply pressure towards the villages of Viper. Viper now ducking back with those wood villages. They're going to be A-okay though. They are going to be A-okay. 5 villages inside the outpost, going to be safe, and Viper now looking to get +1 range defense. Still, we don't see that horticulture coming in for him just yet, but he is looking to get his military upgrades. And now Viper, he's in a pretty decent spot at this point in the game. His enemy's not on 2 town centers. His enemy is not scaling. And that's the biggest fear right now for Viper. He wants to be playing at 1 town center against 1 town center. That is what he wants to do, because if his enemy goes into that 2 town centers, then Viper is on a timer. Viper is forced to make a move. And if he's forced to make a move, then maybe he makes the wrong one and maybe he gets punished. But in this scenario, he can't really make any wrong moves because he's just fighting 1 town center against 1 town center. We'll look to see how Soldier is playing it though. You can see he's starting to really gather up that stone. Villagers once again getting caught out of position. And I feel like almost at this point, you're probably just better off retreating from the boar. Even though it's a juicy little boar, you're going to need an outpost here with arrow slits to actually stop it. And now the knights coming out. They mean serious business. A lot of spears going to be out in response for Viper. Viper holding off this position. He's got an outpost providing that network of castles bonus. And at the same time, we see Soldier heading away, parting ways, and indeed giving up that boar in the center of the map. Less than 700 food taken out of that. Not to mention the fact that many villagers died while taking it out. So Viper doing a great job now. Soldier at the same time, we'll take a look at how he's doing. Steeled arrow coming in for him, looking to get that +1 ranged attack. Iron undermesh is already through, going to be giving him that +1 ranged armor. It's going to help out a huge amount with these horsemen. Ideally, they want to be looking to connect with a lot of these longbows, but we'll see how he looks to play it. As the 2 knights continue heading up towards the north, we'll take a look from Viper's position and see whether he spots these coming out. We see the outpost. The knight's going to be spotted on the edge of the line of sight here. Viper going to be aware. Siege engineering also coming in right now for Viper. So he is really looking to try and take control of this game. And we see there is a battering ram in construction. Everybody gathering around the ram. And more and more units being healed up. Viper has researched that, set up camp, and be cognizant of those knights. Those knights, they are somewhere. They are looming. They're just chilling out at the moment. Chilling behind a wood line at the moment as we head back towards this south side where Viper is pushing into the base of Soldier now. Our French player looking like he might be actually struggling a little bit here. He's got a pretty decent mass, but keep in mind, when it comes to villager count, it's not really relevant because 1 TC versus 1 TC, it's always going to be favorable for the English player. Now, underneath the town center of the Viper, villagers managed to make it back to safety. Longbowmen are going to be firing off towards it. Villager count at the moment, 46 for Soldier, 43 for Viper. As mentioned before, he's got those economic upgrades though, so he's going to have more efficient villages. He's going to have those farms. He's going to have a lot of efficiencies that the French player isn't going to have. He's got cheaper upgrades, but cheaper upgrades don't equal a better economy. They just equal cheaper upgrades. And now Viper looking to push out. Longbowmen coming in. Spears looking to get down on the ground, bringing out their spears. We enter into a cinematic mode right now because Soldier is pushing out. A lot of archers looking to try and take out the longbowman of his opponent. He's trying his best, but unfortunately the network of castles is going to be buffing this up. Spearmen on the front line getting picked off by the archers of Soldier. Soldier continuing to push up now. More and more longbows. Knights coming out trying to meet these enemies in battle. Unfortunately, they get met by enemies of the speary type, and that is not the enemy you want to be meeting in battle. Outpost standing steadfast on the top of that hill, going to be providing that network of castle buff, firing down upon its opponents, and Soldier looking pretty good with his push out. A lot of archers coming through right now. Spearmen going to be entering into that outpost, providing a little bit more damage, but now Soldier going to be able to dwindle this, and I think we might have a cleanup on all 3 as Soldier manages to clean up the forces of Viper, and Soldier looking very strong in this game. We mentioned earlier the fact that Viper definitely had the ball in his court, that it was, up to him whether he wanted to make a move, and, that if he made the wrong one, it wasn't a big deal. Well, that is exactly the case. It's not a big deal that Viper has made the wrong move here because he is not on 2 town centers, his opponent. He is on 1 town center. So even though things have gone wrong for him on this line, there's still not, there's not a huge amount that is going to be consequential for that. Viper sits at 44 villagers at the moment compared to his opponent who sits on 51. So there's a 7 villager difference between the two, but Viper continues to mass. He doesn't have a tech disadvantage. He doesn't have an economic disadvantage. The only disadvantage he's got right now is a military disadvantage. 33 military against the 18 of Viper. Battering ram going to be falling back now. Viper did have a battering ram in the middle of the map. It cleaned up the outpost, it cleaned up the mill, but now we see more villagers coming out, finally going to be able to clean up this boar. Viper going to be looking to apply pressure there when he's got the option to do so, but now it seems like the options are slowly closing for Viper, as men-at-arms now begin coming out of his barracks. He's looking to turn his attention towards a heavier composition. Be adding in some heavy melee infantry, but now Soldier looking to clean up outposts around the rest of the map. He's walling up to prevent any sort of transgression towards him. And now Viper is beginning to struggle. We can see that his unit mass is dwindling. Archer's continuing to move forward. He's going to be microing, kiting back towards his town center. Eventually, he'll be able to get under it. But now Men-at-Arms going to be coming out. These Men-at-Arms going to be doing quite a lot of work. And the question is whether the Men-at-Arms switch is actually going to help him out here. And he kind of telegraphs what his intention here is by showing these Men-at-Arms. He said, hey, I've got 2 Men-at-Arms. You know, there's probably going to be more. So what does Soldier do here? Well, Soldier's had a big military victory. Ideally, in this position, Soldier should be looking to go castle. He spotted the men-at-arms. He knows that there's going to be more men-at-arms coming. And you can see there's a lot of men-at-arms, but Soldier's starting to worry, I would suspect. Moving away from this front. I would honestly at this point be saying, you know what, give up the front, go castle, get Arbla Trier out. Look, oh, he's added in a second town center. He has added a second town center. Okay, it's that's actually concerning. The second town center has come quite late. In this situation, when Viper's pushing out now, this is the reason why I say the second town center has come late is because Viper's economy is online. Viper is kicking out units non-stop right now. He is only going into units. You can see he's got 2 villagers in queue, 3 longbowmen, and 3 men-at-arms. He's going ham. And at this time, now Soldier is looking, he's taken the victory, but at the same time, he's going to be struggling to get a mass out on the field. So we'll look to see how he goes. Ideally, I wouldn't even like him to fight this. Viper's going to be really struggling here, Soldier's really going to be struggling here, and you can see the men-at-arms going to be able to push these units back. These men-at-arms are going to be forcing Soldier to go into knights. When he sees these men-at-arms, he knows he needs to make knights. He's got that second town center up, but the question is whether he's going to have the economy to support both unit production as well as villagers, because Viper is now pumping everything into his units. That is it. He's just looking to buff up that military and really get it out. He took that terrible fight in the early game, lost all of his units, but now he's back. He's back with a vengeance. Soldier sitting on 37 military. Viper all of a sudden sitting on 47 military. He's turned it around incredibly, and this is where the production bonus really starts to come out from those men-at-arms. As you guys will know, the English did get buffed in the most recent patch. A number of buffs came through, but one of the big buffs is that early men-at-arms, in fact, any English men-at-arms train very fast, and it means that they don't have to invest in a huge amount of barracks to get a huge amount of men-at-arms. And now we see those men-at-arms beginning to push down, beginning to siege down the army, or rather the archery range of Soldier. Soldier going to begin struggling, and we see a bit of a battle beginning to break out as we enter the cinematic mode. The Soldier's going to be coming out here. Got to be careful here. The men-at-arms looking to tee off against the knights, but at the same time, Archer's on the back line. Soldier going to be falling back. Men-at-arms coming out strong. Soldier looking like he might be scratching his head here, not sure exactly how he counters them. Ideally, he wants to have the archers focusing down the spearmen and then just look to engage the mass with the knights. And that's where the majority of the damage is going to be coming into those men-at-arms. It's going to be through the knights. He doesn't have any horsemen, though, to deal with the longbowmen. He's obviously got knights, but knights aren't particularly effective against those longbowmen, just simply because the horseman is so much more effective when it comes to cost. But now archery range, second archery range is going to get cleaned up here as well. You can see Viper focusing down the production, and the town center might be the one that comes up next. You can see that there's still no battering ram out for Viper. I say that, but now a battering ram has indeed been constructed and been repaired on the backfield. Look at the units just coming out for Viper, streaming across the map. Viper is intent on taking this game down right here, right now. He knows, he senses, he smells the blood in the water. Is Viper going to be able to do it? Is he going to look to somehow find a way back into this game after losing his army? And now Viper also going to be going to Castle Age behind this. He is pushing, and he is going Castle. This guy is an absolute madman. Number 1 rule of RTS games: if you're pushing, don't tech up. Or I think it's if you're teching, don't go pushing. But Viper going to be ignoring that rule. Going to be pushing. Going to be looking to find a bit of an agenda. Villager count at the moment: Viper on 56, 69 for Soldier. Nice. But Soldier looking to try and draw back the army of his opponent. Viper going up to Castle Age. King's Palace going to be dropped down at the same time. More siege now getting built in here for Viper. Viper very happily going up to that next stage. 18 villagers away on that landmark. Soldier starting to struggle. You can see he's added in farms around that second town center, but he doesn't have the military to support this situation. Second town center coming in a little bit too late, leaves him open to this potential threat, but obviously there was pressure in the early game. It meant that he wasn't really able to add it, and now Viper reaches the castle age. Soldier is going to be in a struggle town right now because Viper is up in the castle age and he's got barely any units to defend. He's managed to spend all of his resources on farms, villages, and town centers, and it means that Viper is going to be looking incredibly potent in this scenario. We saw that an attempt was made by Soldier. Not a whole lot of luck was drawn out of it. And now the push continues to shove. Viper looking to get those upgrades. We can see veteran longbowmen coming through at the council hall. Also going to be having upgrades to men-at-arms. Going to be having veteran spearmen coming through. Everything is getting veteran. You get a veteran. You get a veteran. Everybody gets a veteran. Longbowmen now awaiting their upgrade. We can see the men-at-arms have been upgraded to their castle-aged version. And now the veteran longbowman coming in another 5 seconds. And look, Soldier just about to push. We can see the battering ram coming in. Here comes the veteran longbows, though, in perfect timing. Beautiful timing right now before the longbows even take any damage from the knights. And now the men-at-arms are out to play. No clad armor just at this point in time. But Viper is intent on taking this game down. Soldier looking to try and hold on in this position, but he's got the castle age upgrades. Viper looking incredibly strong despite that ram really doing too much work. He's got a second ram down here towards the town center doing a lot, and Viper is now looking to take control of the game. Archers on the back line do indeed tap out. Soldier says good game. This was not the battle for him. Viper incredibly strong. Fellas, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch all of the good stuff from Viper. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.